Am I wrong for catfishing a brand? And yes, this did happen to me. Story time. So last year I was invited to go to a festival with one of my favourite brands. I'd done lots of work with them before and had a really good relationship with them. So the idea is that we would do a 2-hour or so photo shoot beforehand, and then we'd go into the festival and we'd enjoy the music, we'd vibe, we'd dance. It was all going to be fun. So I get there, I'm with 2 other creators, and these creators were so great. I'm actually really glad I met them. And there's a guy from the brand called Steve. I'm chatting with Steve, he's being very complimentary of my work. And then a really random comment from the photographer, which I don't think is linked to this at all. He's looking through the pictures and he says, "Oh, I actually like the pictures where I can't see your face." Cool. So everything goes well. We go to the hospitality bit. I didn't actually end up seeing any of the artists because the photo shoot went on so long. I missed them all and I had to leave. And that I thought would be it. I'd see the pictures on social media or on their website. Winner. So it was like a thing the brand were doing. They were doing 3 photo shoots and 3 festivals over 3 weekends. And a friend of mine, we will call them Amy, went on the weekend after me. Me and Amy are online friends. We've known each other for a little while, but we actually met for the first time in December, which is where they told me this piece of information. So she comes up to me after we've done the "Hi, nice to meet you, can't believe it's so long, la 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 la." She's like, "I need to tell you something." Basically, Amy had done the exact same thing with the brand a week after, and she turned up and Steve was being very complimentary to her and saying how she looked exactly like she does online, and it really annoys him when people don't look the same as they do online. And Amy's like, "Right, okay." Then Steve says, "Do you know Tati Lomas?" And very well played. Amy's like, "I've seen her online, but I don't know her." Well played. She then goes on to tell me that on the weekend after, Steve had said to her, "Oh yeah, that Tati Lomas, such a catfish. Definitely uses filters in all of her videos. Just doesn't look how she does online." Which, for one, I don't use filters. I film on my camera roll, which I don't even think it's possible to use filters on your camera. Obviously, I know it's not true and I try to not let myself overthink the situation too much, but I just wonder how many people he has told that piece of information to. So not only was he bitching about me to other creators, he was also just lying, which is a real shame. So what do you think? Am I wrong here? Am I wrong for not inviting my sister to my wedding because she ruined my proposal? Story time. So my boyfriend Steve had the most incredible proposal planned. He'd found this gorgeous secluded spot on a beach and he had all of the foods that we ate on our first date together at a little picnic. So Steve told me that we were going to be doing a couples photo shoot, and I found it really, really weird because my sister was begging to tag along, but sometimes she does that. She just gets overly attached sometimes. So she said she just wanted to get some nice random candid pictures of us during the photo shoot, and I'm sure at this moment Steve was like, "What the hell?" So as we get to this beautiful spot, my sister starts acting really weird. She's trying to direct things like it's some sort of movie. I'm not gonna lie, I was really starting to sense that something was off at this point, and Steve has since said that he knew just as it was happening that it was going to be ruined, but he'd planned everything and he wanted it to be in this space with everything that was going on around us. And then out of nowhere, Amy grabs the ring box from out of his pocket and yells, "Surprise! Look what he was going to do." Girl, stay at home. I was obviously in absolute shock. Steve was furious. Anyway, he managed to salvage the proposal somewhat. Of course, I said yes. I'm not gonna lie, like I say, I did sort of feel like the proposal was ruined. And Steve decided to confront my sister about it, and she just laughed it off and said that we were overreacting. So fast forward to the wedding planning. Myself and Steve have decided that we obviously don't want Amy to be at the wedding. As you can imagine, we wanted the day to be about us. We don't want any drama. And when we told my parents about our decision, obviously, they were absolutely livid. My parents have called me heartless, said I am tearing the family apart over a little joke. And now, I'm not gonna lie, I am really conflicted on what to do. I just do not trust Amy not to pull some sort of like dramatic bullshit on the day. I should probably add as well, Amy is known for attention seeking and stealing the spotlight on people's special days. For example, I got my dream job after leaving uni and I announced it at a family barbecue. I kid you not, 10 minutes later, Amy's like, "Oh guys, I have an announcement to make. I'm pregnant." Obviously, everyone was shooketh. We start asking questions, she can't answer them, and then he's like, oh, sorry, I was joking. So what do you think? Should I break up the family? Should I not have Amy at the wedding? What should I do?
Today, my girlfriend is planning on cheating on me. What are the best options to catch her and prevent gaslighting? I, 23 male, have been dating my girlfriend, 24 female, for over a year. I've been the boyfriend that treated her the best, changed her lifestyle to be healthier, has her parents' approval, etc. She used to get abused and lied to in previous relationships. We are now away on a business trip, and we are staying at a hotel, which happens to be in a state her ex-boyfriend from 3 relationships ago lives at. As said, this is a work trip and I will need to leave the hotel for a few hours, and she has the entire place to herself. She has the option of accompanying me to my job out here, but has opted to stay at the hotel. Skipping forward, she's texting her ex, who she changed the contact name for on her phone, and they've already planned on meeting in the evening today. They will be meeting at the hotel that we're staying at. I'm not sure what my options are. My original plan is to let them meet and catch up in the hotel together, but when that happens, what next? Do I beat up her ex-boyfriend? Do I yell at her for cheating? Do I just act casual and say I came back to pick something up? The issue is, we're still here for 4 more days after, and her parents are expecting me to take care of her on this trip, so I can't just kick her out. I'd have to hear some BS sob stories for the next 4 days of her trying to find a way to make it seem like she wasn't cheating. The other issue is that if the ex bails and they don't meet up. She still had the intent to meet up with him. Do I just act like nothing was going to happen? She deletes the messages from her phone, so I have no living proof that it was going to happen. And then to top it off, she will know I went through her phone, which I normally don't do. But I just had the gut feeling that she'd do exactly this. As I knew from previous stories, she told me about this ex and that he lives in the exact state we're at. She claimed to have blocked this ex a long time ago. About 6 months into the relationship, she accidentally unblocked him, which is how I caught him trying to call her. She blocked him after we discussed it, and I thought it was over. Now it's about 7 months later since then, and she's talking to him, has him as a girl's name on her phone, and on Do Not Disturb so the messages don't pop up. Lastly, about a month ago, I waved at a high school female friend who used to be on my track and field team, and I didn't try to engage in conversation, just a simple hi, as my girlfriend was right next to me and we were walking in opposite directions. She went on a whole argument that it's disrespectful to even know other girls, to even say hi, to even look in the direction of another girl. Oh my god, what is this? Which brings me to how I saw the signs before, because now she's not only talking to a guy, she's planning on meeting him in a different state. One more thing, she thinks the hotel only has 1 key card, but I have the second one. Only problem is that if I were to even catch them in the act, she'd always do the extra lock from someone breaking in. How should I go about this? If they're both inside the room and she won't open the door, because obviously she'll get caught cheating. Please, brother, tell me you have an update. Oh my god. You don't need a reason to break up with her. She intended to meet with her ex and went lengths to hide it behind your back. That is more than enough to call it off. You don't have to make this whole deal and try to catch him in the act. You just separate and go your own way. I don't know why you're so intent on trying to catch her in the act. She already disrespected you and cheated on you, so just get over it. Go next. Bye. My husband wants me to lose more weight before we try to get pregnant. How do I move forward? We've been married for just over 5 years, and although we are young, we are in a stable situation, financially and in our relationship, where we both would like to get pregnant in the next year or so. At my heaviest weight in 2020, 5'3", 155 pounds, he expressed that he wanted me to lose weight to help him be more attracted to me. Although this was hard to hear, we had a constructive conversation and I understood where he was coming from. I've put in an effort to lose weight and I'm down 25 pounds since that original conversation. We've been talking more seriously about trying for a baby, but he's expressed that he still doesn't find me fully attractive and would like me to be 120 pounds before we officially start trying to get pregnant. I have previously expressed that it would be cool to be 120 pounds, but I don't think being 120 pounds is necessary before we start trying for a baby, since I am a healthy weight, work out every day, and overall have a good diet. To be a good sport, I've been trying to lose more weight since our more recent convos, but have been stagnant at around 132 pounds. I would like to start trying for a baby now, but he still wants to wait until I'm 120 pounds, which feels like it could never happen. How would you recommend moving forward? As I said, I want to start trying for a baby ASAP, but also don't want to disappoint my husband. Note that my husband and I love each other very much. Every time he talks to me about my weight, he's straightforward but also very kind and clearly loves me and wants the best for me. You were 10 pounds off from his goal weight. Is that really such a big deal for him attraction-wise in his eyes? Are you sure you want a baby with this man? Question that.
Am I the asshole for taking back a gift after I learned the birthday person would not be the one using it? My daughter, Jenny, 13, has a best friend, Morgan, nearly 13. The two of them spend a lot of time together at our place. I don't know Morgan's mother very well, as Jenny doesn't go often to their house. This is mainly because Morgan's house is a little chaotic. She has 4 siblings. Jenny is an only child, and Morgan has said that she likes the quiet. Morgan has done a lot of stuff for us. I occasionally enter radio/online competitions and will win tickets to certain local events. When I won 4 tickets to a concert last year, Jenny and I brought Morgan along with one other friend, and we had a blast. Recently, I won another pair of tickets to a concert that I plan to attend with Jenny. A few days after, I was told about a work trip that I would have to take that falls that weekend. Jenny usually comes with me, so Jenny suggested we give the tickets to Morgan for her birthday. She could either go with another friend or her mom. I checked with Morgan's mom before we mentioned this to Morgan, and she said that it was fine. Last night, Morgan was at our house, and she seemed upset. When I asked why, she said her mom was taking her brother to the concert because her brother has never been to a concert before. And I asked if Morgan's brother even liked the band, and Morgan said no. It was just like the principle of the matter. Morgan and her other 3 siblings have been to the concert. He hasn't, and since they can't afford stuff like this, he gets to go. I found this unfair and honestly a waste of tickets. I called Morgan's mom to double check this story, and she confirmed it, including her 11-year-old son barely knows anything about the band. I said, I'm sorry, but I don't feel right giving these as a birthday gift anymore as they were for Morgan. I said we'd give them to Jenny and Morgan's other friend, who I know likes the band, and we'll get Morgan something else for her birthday. Morgan is fine with this. Morgan's mom is pissed and says I'm trying to tell her how to parent. I don't think I am, because if a different parent gave Morgan the tickets and it was the same result, as shitty as I'd find her mom doing this, I wouldn't say anything as that's not my business. As I'm the one giving the tickets, I want them to go to Morgan. I'd also maybe feel different if the brother loved the band too, but as he doesn't, I don't want them to get them. So here I am left wondering if I'm the ass here. Okay, so this last story is, am I the asshole for explaining to my husband he's the reason why we keep having daughters? I, 30 female, have 2 daughters and am currently pregnant with my 3rd girl. We just found out this morning. On the drive to my husband's mother's house, he explained how he was a bit disappointed about having a girl, but then he said, I should have expected this because you have 3 sisters. I explained that me having 3 sisters has nothing to do with the gender of our child. He says it's genetics and that I'm the reason for our daughters. I told him that's not how biology works, and he says it is. He then went on to explain that his mom only has brothers, and his 2 oldest brothers both have 2 sons because his mom's side. I told him that doesn't make any sense because it should be the same for him then. He said no, because both of their wives have more brothers than sisters. He was getting frustrated, but I was just laughing at him. I explained that him and his oldest 2 brothers have different dads, but out of his dad's 8 kids, 3 are boys and 5 are girls. The men determine the gender. He said, no, that's not true, because the kid his dad had with his mom are all boys. He dropped it and said he'll ask his mom, who has a degree in biology. So we get to his parents' house for brunch, and he asks his mom if I'm the reason why he keeps having girls. She told him bluntly that no, men determine the gender, and it's actually not a 50-50 chance. She then went on to explain that the more of one gender you have, the higher the chances your next child is also going to be that gender. So he asked, is it likely that he'll have a boy? She told him that if he keeps trying, it might happen. He just walked to the car and said he's going for a drive. I received a text from him saying that I didn't have to embarrass him like that. And I was so confused. Am I the asshole?
Yeah.
Am I the asshole for throwing my rings into the ocean after my husband told me he had an affair, even though it was a prank? This is the dumbest thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life. This past Sunday, my husband and I, male 29 and female 27, were on our boat together. We were just relaxing and talking and having a good morning. All of a sudden, my husband gets really serious and tells me, baby, I'm so sorry, but I have to tell you something. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I had an affair. For context, my husband thinks he's a comedian. He says dumb shit all the time, but he's never joked about our marriage or relationship or cheating ever. The way he said it, I fully believed him. I was blinded by rage and hurt, and I'm not a confrontational person at all, so all I did was stand up, take my rings off, and throw them in the ocean. I don't even know why I did it. It was just the first thing I thought of doing. My husband's jaw hit the floor. He immediately started to yell at me that it was a joke, a prank. He wasn't serious, and I was an idiot. My jaw dropped then, too. I yelled at him, too, and called him the same. I cried, too, realizing I just threw my lovely and sentimental rings into the ocean. We've been arguing for days, and he says I'm the asshole. I say he's the asshole, and I have no idea who's right. Yes, admittedly, I threw about 10K worth of rings into the ocean, and we will never find them again, but he looked me in the eyes and told me that he had an affair. I'm so upset about my rings. I've apologized for throwing them, but I just don't feel like the asshole.